Good afternoon. This is Lindsay. I'm gonna do a video. I'm not gonna just gonna do a voice video. I want to talk about when a narcissist is desperate to get you back into their cycle of manipulations and abuse after you figured out that they were after you already caught them or figured out that they were lying and cheating on you. So let me talk about this because I have experience with this, and so I'm going to talk about it. So after they've discarded you or you discard them at some point in the transactional type situation you're in, or relationship, whatever you want to call it, because most of the times these are not real relationships, they're mostly transactional, because narcissists are using you to get something from you. It's a power trip for them. It's about control. It's about manipulation, gaslighting, scapegoating you, using flying monkeys. Monkey branching is what they do when they are in between relationships. They'll monkey branch from one person to the next. So there's all kinds of terminology that you can learn about when you're being targeted by these kinds of people, narcissistic type people, control freaks. I call them, they're borderline to me psychopaths. They exhibit traits of borderline personality as well as narcissistic abuse. Mm-hmm. And so that's, I don't know exactly what to call them because I can't give a proper diagnosis, but I have my experience enough to know that there's something definitely that is not normal with these individuals, and it's mostly boils down to them needing to have absolute total control over whoever it is that they are involved with, and they need to have control over people in the work environment. They need to have control over people in their family setting, whether they live at home with their parents or siblings, or maybe they're married, or whatever their living situation is. They need to have control over that. They need to have control over everybody and everything, or else they themselves lose control, and that's when the abuse will escalate more and more and more, when the minute they feel that they've lost control over their target, victim, whatever you want to call it, survivor. They're just, you can be a variety of all of these things. You don't have to be in the victimhood mentality, but you could be a survivor, you could be a victim, and you could be also whatever. You get the idea. So whenever the discard has happened and they've hoovered you, or they've done a reverse discard where you discarded them at some point, and or it was sort of like because you figured out that they're lying to you and cheating on you and they're not who they say they are, and the mask is slipping. So you discard them, or you just kind of basically cut communication with them or block them, and then they come back to hoover you, and then it's all because they want to make sure that they're to make it look like they're the ones who have discarded you, because it has to be, the ball always has to be in their court. They have to, like I said, it's about control. So they'll do a reverse discard, and then they'll come back to hoover you various times whenever whatever's going on with the person that they've been cheating on you with is not going so well, or they get bored in that relationship, or that person discarded them, or they discarded that person, or that person, usually they'll end up cheating on you with somebody who is married, and they probably will meet this person at their workplace, or maybe it's a neighbor, or somebody who they met at the grocery store, who works at a store or a restaurant, I don't know, but usually it's somebody who they work with, and they'll cheat on you with that person. But then again, cheating, this is how they cover their asses. This is what's so pathetic about how narcissistic people cover their tracks, is the whole time you're with them, they never put you in the category of girlfriend. You're just somebody who they quote unquote care about, and you're a friend. So they have to remain in that single status so that they can have the illusion of being single all the time, even though you are actively involved with them intimately and whatnot. They still have to portray themselves on social media and in the public that they are single, because they always have to look available, because they're always looking for somebody different, even though they're with you. And even when you're out in public with them, they're going to be on the lookout for somebody different, using you to maybe try to meet somebody else. Or you'll notice how they treat you differently in public. It's really, a lot of the times they'll do that. They'll kind of just be disrespectful towards you, or they treat you because they always need to portray themselves as being single, so that they're available in case somebody else comes along that they're interested in, or whatever. That's what they do. This is a tactic that they use, and they'll use other people to try to get to other people. They'll use you so that they can maybe get someone else. So what they'll do, they'll cheat on you with somebody who they work with. This is what happened to me. The guy was, well, not only that, I definitely know he was involved with this woman who he works, some girl, younger woman who he works with, who supposedly was married with kids. Well, he was having an affair with her. He has some kind of infatuation with this girl, yet he's also at the same time staying in contact with all his exes, and still hung up on a lot of his exes. And not to mention all the other relationships he was involved with, as far as dating sites, because the whole time he was on dating sites, and he didn't care that he knew that I was on one. Yeah, because supposedly he's single, I'm single, so whatever, but I'm not allowed to date anybody. I'm not allowed, but he is. That's the way they want it, is that you're not allowed to date or to talk. They don't want you talking to anybody or dating anybody, but your friends, and you're single, but they have the authority to do whatever they want. And then when you question them about it, they lie to you. You see, that's what doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, what the fuck do you want, an open relation? What is this? What the hell kind of relationship is this? And it's all done to make you feel confused and overwhelmed, because you don't know how to label it, because they don't like to have to label it. They don't want to have to label you as being a girlfriend or anything like that. So you're left wondering, well, where do I stand? Are we friends? Are we committed in a committed relationship? Are we monogamous? Are you with other people? And because me personally, I can't handle being with more than one man at one time. That's impossible. I can't do that. I can't be intimate with more than one man at a time. Number one, it's dangerous. It's filthy. I think that's dirty. It's dangerous, and it's not productive. It's too chaotic. So I prefer to be with one man intimately at one time, and I don't cheat on people. I think that's the most disrespectful thing you could do, is lie and cheat on somebody and lie to their face about the fact that you're doing that to somebody. That's just horrible. And you shouldn't take back somebody who cheats and lies to you. I don't care how long you've been with them. I don't care how much you care about them. Because once they do this to you, they're going to continue that. They're going to do it again. Trust me on that. Because I've taken back plenty of men who've cheated on me in the past, and they just do it again and again and again. And then they see you as being weak and vulnerable, and they see you as being stupid for taking them back, because now you're easy to manipulate, and you're easy to get. They know how to push your buttons. They know that you don't want to be cheated on. Nobody does. I don't think any healthy person in a relationship does not want to feel the betrayal of being cheated on, because it is a form of betrayal, and it's probably the worst kind of betrayal you can experience, and heartache and confusion and sadness and depression that you could ever go through when you care about somebody and you think that person is monogamous with you, yet you find out that they're screwing right behind your back with somebody who they work with and lying to you right to your face about it. Now, that's the worst kind of betrayal I think you can put a person through, in my opinion. Now, some people can heal from that and they can get over it and it's no big deal. For other people, it's something that is a deal breaker. And in my case, personally, dealing with these kinds of situations in the past and talking to other people about this and listening to other survivors of narcissistic abuse and whatnot, most people don't take back a cheater. Most people end it then and there. And yet, especially if you're married to that person, Yeah, that's just not, there's just really no excuse for that because that shows they don't respect you. I don't care if it's because there's no excuse. There's no excuse. If you're going to cheat on somebody, then why be with them in the first place? Or why string them along and manipulate and lie to them when you're involved with other people? Some people are into that kind of polygamy, whatever you call it, or like what I guess some Mormons are into that, like they have multiple wives or whatever, or some cults are into that kind of thing where they're just like swinger type, whatever. I don't know. I'm not into that lifestyle. I've never been into that kind of lifestyle, so to each his own. But me, if someone I'm with and I find out they're cheating on me and lying to me, then no, that's it. Don't try to come back. But then you'll take them back because they're so desperate. And this is what they'll do. Here's an example of, let me give you an example, proof of when they're desperate. Whenever the discard's over, you've told them you don't want to have anything to do with them, the relationship has ended, but they keep coming back to hoover you and talking you into sweet talking you and love bombing you over again to try to get you back ensnared in their drama and their web of deception. Well, here's an example. For example, like narcissists for holidays such as like, how Valentine's and whatnot, things like this, or maybe even your birthday. Notice how they don't give you a gift. They don't even call you or text you or anything on your birthday. They don't wish you a happy birthday. They act like they don't know when your birthday is, and probably they don't. And if they do, they don't care about significant dates. And Valentine's to them is just something that's to be ridiculed. They don't treat you. They treat you basically they'll use that as a day to do horrible abuse to you often. And here's an example. Like this past Valentine's Day, I believe I already had the narcissist blocked at this time anyway, but he was still continually leaving me messages and whatnot, and coming by my house and whatnot, even though I had him blocked and we weren't, But on Valentine's Day, this past Valentine's 2025, February 14th, I didn't hear from him. Normally he would, I didn't hear from him at all, okay? And even though I had him blocked, maybe I thought, he normally even would call when I had him blocked and leave a message like maybe saying, he would, whatever. But that day I didn't hear anything from him. But what I did hear from was somebody who I had met on a dating site, never met him in person, talked to him a few times on the phone, and the guy lives in a different city. He lives in a town called Victoria, and his name is Julian, okay? The guy is somebody who contacted me on the dating site, and we talked about things and whatever, but he had some similarities to this man I was involved with, this narcissist, that is to say, the bastard. I don't like to be mean, but they have that curse of the bastard thing, that bastard curse where, the father wasn't around. They don't know the father, who the father is, who their father is, and whatever. They're born from wedlock or adultery. Now let me play you a message that person. Okay, I'm going to explain in a minute more about them.
On new voice message and 15 saved messages. New message.
Hey Lindsay, this is Lewis. I just want to see what's going on with you. I hope you're having a great day.
Okay, I'm gonna play.
Message saved. Saved message.
I'm gonna play a message that.
Message saved.
Hold on.
Saved message.
Hey Lindsay, it's Lewis again.
Message saved.
I'm listening to my voice, trying to find the right one. I'm sorry, it's taking a minute.
Message saved.
Hold on.
Saved message.
Hi, this is Tyler with Multifamily Mindset. I'm so
Just a
excited
minute.
you are-
It's taking me a minute. Hold on.
Saved message.
Lindsay, can you pick up the phone?
Hold on. I'm still looking for it.
Hello, this is a message for Lindsay Moore.
Hold on. Still looking for it.
Hey Lindsay, I got your
Hold on.
message saved. Saved message.
Hey Lindsay, this is Andrew
No,
from...
not it. Hold on.
Saved message.
Good afternoon, Lindsay.
Hold on, it's not it.
Message saved. Saved message.
Hey, Lindsay, it's me, Gene. I haven't talked to you in a while, babe. Kind of busy, but I wanted to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. Okay? Have a good day.
To replay this message, press 1.
Hey, Lindsay, it's me, Gene. I haven't talked to you in a while, babe. Kind of busy, but I wanted to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. Okay? Have a good day.
To replay this message, press 1. To delete, press 7. To save, press 9. For more options, press 6. To replay this message, press 1. To forward this message, press 2. To hear the message header information, press 5. To delete from 13611676429 received Friday, 14th February 2025 at 12:09 p.m.
Okay, so why I'm playing that is because I had talked to that man. His name is Julian, some guy from Victoria, Texas. We spoke one time on the phone months ago, a ways back, and just talked on the phone, had a conversation. And then I didn't hear anything from him for a long time, just completely nothing, right? And then all of a sudden, this past Valentine's Day, I get that message from him on Valentine's Day, okay? Isn't that a little bit weird? Okay, here's why I'm saying, okay, Valentine's Day, Victoria is the name of the person the girl who this guy who I was involved with has had an affair with, and it has something going on with her, or did have something going on with her, and probably still does, and so see, that's not a coincidence, that's no accident that this guy happens to be from Victoria. He works at a mall. Okay, he works in a restaurant. You see, I'm sorry, but all of this stuff, these people, I don't know who he really is. Maybe he's some kind of a security guard or agent of some kind of government agent. But these are clues and signs. He's basically letting me know something that I've been needing to know. And I already have been clear. It's already been clarified to me that the guy I was involved with was cheating on me with somebody named Victoria. I've already made that obvious because I already know. I've got my sources and I have figured it out, and I was right the whole time. All along, my instincts were correct that he was cheating on me with this girl named Victoria who he works with, some girl, some younger blonde at his job at Saks Fifth Avenue in San Antonio who works in the shoe department, supposedly. And even if this is all some fucking fabrication made to make me look crazy and jealous and whatnot, shame on you. But if it's real and he really does work there and this is really what's going on, then what the fuck? Why me? Why are you targeting me like this? What do you want from me, and what have I done to you? And why do you have to do all this fucked up triangulation shit with all these women? Why? The question is why, and who are you really? What do you want from me, and why do you do these kinds of vindictive, malicious, horrible things to hurt somebody and confuse the shit out of somebody is my question to this narcissist. Why does he do these things that are so fucking evil? Thinking that it's funny to hurt people like that, or hurt me, and thinking it's a game. I don't understand the mindset of people like this, but it's pure evil. And if it has something to do with the curse of the bastard, or whatever the fuck it is, some demonic, satanic something, this is just evil, downright evil stuff, an example of what these people will do. And that was the example right there that I played you on my voicemail that I saved. I decided to save because I knew I was going to make a video about it at some point to talk about this subject again for my own documentations about, yes, I know that this guy is lying to me. Yes, I know he's a player. Yes, I know he's a manipulator. Yes, I know he's a narcissist. He's a serial cheater. He's a womanizer, and he's a sex addict. And I know these things for a fact because I've been around him long enough to know that all he sees in me and all he ever is going to see in me is somebody he can use and manipulate for getting his needs met, sexual needs met, and that's it. That's all it is, a transaction to him. And it's horrible type of feeling because I feel like I've been like he's it feels like you're being, the way to describe this kind of feeling that I have is I don't even have the words to describe how infuriating, insulting, and dehumanizing it feels to go through this. The trauma, the hurt, which I'm getting over all that, but I'm, I'm a strong person. But the fact that I've been lied to and exploited sexually and in other ways is so humiliating and degrading that it's hard to. You can tell by the way my tone of voice that I'm angry or that it's but distressful. But I can't even find the proper words to describe how it feels to have been going through this kind of situation where you're being totally fucking lied to, placated, exploited, insulted, degraded, humiliated by somebody taking advantage of your vulnerabilities and weaknesses and emotional well-being. And I that's the only way I can see it, is that person is out to fucking destroy me, to hurt me, and to literally fucking destroy my life with all his insults and backhanded compliments and criticism and this and that and everything. And I don't know why I don't know why I keep letting him in my life and talking to him. I shouldn't even have anything to do with people like this. I shouldn't, because all they do is keep coming back to cause you so much more problems and stress and health problems and anxiety and all this shit that they fucking do. And it's just a never-ending cycle the more you allow it to happen. And I don't know how many women he's currently involved with and how many other women he's stringing along and doing all this shit to, but my God, how fucking evil how mean. I can't imagine doing that to somebody, because I have integrity and I don't like lying to somebody. I don't like to do that because it makes me feel like shit when you lie to somebody. It doesn't feel good. It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel silly and stupid when you lie and use somebody. At least I would think so. So I don't do that to people, because I think it's wrong to do that to people. So I wonder, why me? Why? I ask myself, why me? What did I ever do to this person? It's like he's getting revenge on me for something that I have no responsibility for, or nothing that has to do with me. And part of it, the more I think back about my life and my past and who these fucking people are in my life who are doing this, all these gang stalkers and fucking targeting me and manipulating me and stalking me and all this fucking government fusion center shit, harassment, government harassment. Yeah, I believe this guy is involved in some fucking government agency of some kind. I don't know which one, but something. And so it makes me think that, well, okay, I look at my past. I look way back at my past. I look at my days in college at UT Austin, where all the shit hit the fan when I set foot on that fucking campus. Had I never gone there, I suppose my life would have been a lot different, probably better, had I just stayed in Las Cruces, New Mexico, where I was content, I was happy, I was healthy, I was doing well, my grades were really well, I had a radio show, I was successful, I had my shit together and my life was going somewhere. And then all of a sudden, I make the move to Austin, Texas, and my life just went to shit. Total fucking shit overnight. Like literally the minute I got into that fucking town, all these horrible things started happening to me that had nothing, that I have no idea, just coming out of left field. It bombarding me with all kinds of shit. And I know that it has probably something to do with the fact that my mother went to that fucking school, UT. My brother, who I don't get along with, the narcissist half-sibling, went to UT. And so did my father. My alleged father, Ben Baldwin. So there's plenty of history. And my cousin even went there to UT for a while before I guess he dropped out or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Or I think he dropped out. I don't think he finished his degree, whatever. I'm not sure. But whatever, it's like I was already cursed. It's like I shouldn't have ever gone there because it was just horrible. And then I meet some guy, I get involved with this, first of all, I moved to Justin Lane. I become roommates with my old middle school friend, Kara Stewart, from middle school at St. Francis, right? We're roommates at an apartment on Justin Lane. And then I started going to the Luby's cafeteria over there on Burnett, the original Luby's on Burnett Street, whatever, because I had always gone to Luby's cafeteria when I was younger, as a child and as a teenager with my grandmother, Mimi. We'd always go to Luby's on Buffalo Speedway, and I'd always get the fucking vegetable plate and usually some cornbread and fruit salad or Jell-O, whatever the fuck it was, right? And so, you know, I was a vegetarian then, and I was all throughout my life. And I go to Luby's, you know, I'm going to Luby's, and at first I'm going by myself most of the time, and I see this old man always looking at me, this elderly man staring at me off at some table off in the corner, always looking at me. And I'm like, okay, whatever. He's always looking at me, just staring at me. And then I meet this guy, Francisco, this Mexican guy named Francisco from Monterrey, Mexico. Looks like an Aztec Indian Mexican guy, real thin and kind of tall, long black hair. I meet him one day randomly on 6th Street. And of course I remember I had on this dress. It was from India that was like a silk dress. It was made that I had got at purchased at Urban Outfitters. I had the long blonde hair, and he spots me, and we spot each other from across the street on 6th Street after the hours and the bars had closed, and we somehow hit it off, and that's how that happened. That's how I met him. And then, there was some kind of an infatuation between the two of us. I don't know, it was just some kind of a weird connection. And then all of a sudden, we get involved, and I start taking him to the cafeteria, Luby's. We become boyfriend and girlfriend. I was living on San Antonio Street at that time, off there on West Campus by UT. There's a Jack in the Box down the street, I remember. But anyway, I remember everything. I have a photographic memory. And so I start taking this guy with me to Luby's a lot, because by that time I'm already living in my own apartment on San Antonio Street. And then that man one day, he notices me with that man too, and then he's really looking at me, this elderly man. And then one day in line, he approaches me, and he starts talking to me and saying, I've been watching you, and I want to introduce myself. My name is Walter Schutze. I'm a military, would you come to my table I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to be your friend. And so I did. He befriended me, and we started talking. We became friends. And then he started warning me about that man. He said, you better watch out, because that Mexican Indian is going to kill you. He's going to try to kill you. And I thought to myself, what is he talking about? Why are you telling me all these things, and who are you? And then he told me that I was going to be under surveillance. He told me that they had been watching me, that I was going to be under surveillance. And this man knew everything about me, all kinds of details about my past, about who my grandparents were, about my mother, about my father. He knew all these things about me. And I was like, how does this man know all these things about me? He acts like he treated me like I was his relative or his blood relative. And it was very odd, because he really seemed to be really interested in my life. And so that's how that happened. That's how I met Walter Schutze. And it all kind of, and he was warning me about that that Mexican guy named Francisco Ortega, who I had met. He was working construction, and the guy was obsessed with me. He would always, want to know every little thing I was doing. He didn't want to let me out of his sight. He didn't like me going to school because he was afraid I was going to meet somebody else, and he would always want to know and he used to tell me that he was watching me when I was on the campus at UT, when he was working construction. So he was obsessed with me and very possessive and controlling, and became violent when he didn't get his way. And I found out that he was abusing drugs, cocaine, and he was an alcoholic and things like this. So that became volatile, and he got arrested at one point. He tried to attack me when I was over at somebody's apartment. Her name was Zena Ortiz, I think. This girl I knew in Austin, her name was Zena. Her boyfriend was Mark, somebody, Chiaburi, some Italian name. But so I was friends with these people, and that's how I met. And Francisco was living with them at the time. He was their roommate. So that's how I met them, was through him. And so it just became, it's like, oh my God. So all I'm saying is that in retrospect, what I feel like is what's going now is almost like sort of like a punishment of, oh, now all of a sudden I've got this guy who's in my life who's a Chicano, Mexican Chicano guy who seems to like have some kind of a bit of an obsession with me, but at the same time he hates me and wants to punish me because of maybe what happened years ago with that whole thing with that Walter and that Walter's warning me about that Mexican Francisco. So it's almost like it's like a hate kind of thing, like, well, how dare you, and you white privilege, it's like he's trying to get revenge on me or punish me for something from my past because he has this animosity towards me or something. That's kind of what it feels like. And so it's like sometimes I'm thinking like this whole thing is like a big fabrication. Like, does he really, in my mind, the way my mind, which is often paranoid, works as well, does he even really work at that fucking Saks Fifth Avenue? Is he really who he says he is? Is it all just a fucking facade and a lie? Are these people fictitious like this all these people? Does he really work with these people? Is it all a big fucking lie? I wonder these things sometimes because it seems like sometimes these people are just fake liars and they're not who they say they are. And these are the kinds of thoughts that run through my mind, considering I've never done any kind of thorough, background check on this guy. I've never gone to the place where he works. I've never called that place to see if he really works there. I don't really know who he really is. In a lot of ways, it's like, for all I know, he's lying about everything about who he says he is. And I have suspected before that he's still married. There's all kinds of things that I feel like he's lying to me about. But the question is, why exactly? Like I said, is it for revenge? Is it what exactly? Why would he be going? Why would they want to go out of their way to do this to me unless it's for financial gain or something, But to me, it's like a spiritual warfare. It's like I feel like I'm having to battle for my spirituality, for my sanity, for my identity, which I feel like are being stripped away from me by people who want to see me dead and destroyed and just like ruined, is what it feels like. It's like a battle with certain people. It's like your life turns into a battle when all you're trying to do, I'm a genuine person. I'm not out to hurt people. But these people want to fucking destroy you and ruin you and gaslight you to the point that you fucking go crazy. It's crazy making. It's like, it sucks to be somebody like myself who's honest and sees through the fucking bullshit whenever people like this, these toxic kinds of demonic energy vampires invade my life. And I don't know what to think sometimes. It's like you don't know what to fucking think or what to do sometimes. You really don't.